Have you ever heard of go with the flow? Well, that's what we're talking about today, being flexible and going with the flow. You can live a life in flow where your deepest heart's desires become reality.
You are here to contribute through your essence, fall deeper in love with your life and the journey that you are on.
Take what works, ditch the rest, and always stay set to love.
Thank you for being a part of this community. We're all designed to live in flow. So let's go. Good morning.
I love this topic.
There you are. You were muted for 1 second. I was like, her mouth is moving, but I don't hear her. Yes, going with the flow. Well, hello. You are going to be flowing in Hawaii next week. So
Yay!
I'm a little bit jealous, but super excited for you.
Oh my gosh. Do you know this is like a bucket list thing?
Have you never been?
Well, I've been to Hawaii, but this is the thing. In all of my years as a mother, I have never been able to take my kids on a family trip. I mean, we've done a couple camping. I was a single mom, so I'd go camping with friends, and then my kids would get to sleep in their camper and I'd be in a tent or something. And it was great. We had wonderful memories. But to actually go on a trip and bring my granddaughter and my kids, and, we're not paying for 100%, but we're doing, where they're staying in their flights. And that makes me feel really good to be able to do something so that we could go and have this experience. And
Even
so
just
it is.
being
It's a bucket
together,
list.
I think that's so awesome.
Yeah. So I'm super, I feel like a kid who is getting ready to go to Disneyland for the first time. Like I can barely sleep. It's wondrful. It really is. And
Are you
Harper's
stressing about your
going.
clothing? That is my next question. Like being flexible, like are you stressing
Oh
about
my
that? Are
gosh,
you laying
you are
out so many things, trying on so many things, or how are you doing with that?
You are going to be so proud of me. My girls are already packed. Okay. I have not touched anything. And the reason I'm not is because that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to wear only dresses on the whole trip. And I think I'm going to pick like 8 dresses just because 5 days you'll dress more than once. You live in a bathing suit, and I'm winging it. I'm not worrying about it.
Way to be flexible, Shelly.
I'm throwing it. I'm not ironing. I'm not doing anything. I'm throwing the dresses in and hoping for the best.
Okay, now here's my question to you. Does it make you feel lighter or more stressed? Because usually you're really stressed and you're really thinking about what you're going to
Not stressed at all. I think I just don't. I mean, in going through the process of having, set to love and going with the flow, I feel so much lighter. I feel like there's no pressure, and it's just what you're going to wear. Like I'm starting to turn over an Eva leaf. It's just a dress. It's just the fact I get to be with my kids and I'm not worried about being in a bathing suit. I'm going to wear a sarong. It just doesn't matter. And it's about being together and what we're going to experience and going snorkeling and being with my wonderful husband who has made all this possible. I don't know. I don't want to cry because I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I don't care. I don't care even what I do. Just get me on the sand and put me in a place with all my kids and the people I love. I'm so grateful.
I love that. I can just feel it coming off of you, but also I just love that your mindset around this trip is just really open and flexible, and it's not like, oh, it has to look a certain way and be a certain way. And I think when we get trapped in that mindset of it has to look a certain way and be a certain way, whether it's about your career or a relationship or a trip or a hobby or a project, whatever it is you're working on, it can be really stifling and you feel trapped in a box. Like there's no room for anyone else's views or for outside experiences to impact you. It's like you want to control it all. And when you just say, I don't care, I'm just going to erase this box around me and just let it be and just go with what feels great and hold gratitude the whole time. I think
Yep.
that is so beautiful. And I can just feel that off of you. I'm so excited for you.
I am. And I think this is the thing, is that when you don't have an expectation and you just, because there's so many things everything is supposedly booked up, because there's only 25% capacity in restaurants. So we are winging it in a lot of ways. And like I told the girls, I said, you know what? We're not going to starve. Regardless, we're going to have fun because we're going to be together. So it is somewhat freeing that I'm not micromanaging anything. It's like, so long as I get on the flight, and I have Brooke coming and spending the night before, because with the baby and all that, I would worry about, okay, is she going to be on time? And not that she's not responsible, but anything. So I'm going to have Brooke and Ryan and the baby here Saturday night. So
that's good.
That stress is gone.
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. That just sounds so awesome. I'm so excited for you. And this idea of being flexible. I mean, have you found that in other areas of your life that you've been able to do this, and that it just kind of frees you up from that constraint of like having to have it look a certain way?
Yes, because I think we put on, and you told me this once, I think when I was overwhelmed, I was a little aggravated at the time, but the more I thought about it, it's overdoing it, over scheduling yourself, overdoing it. You bring on a lot of this stress yourself. So basically, even if it was less stressful to pack a week ago, I would have packed a week ago. But for me now, in all the things that I've learned, just putting the stuff in, get the thing, whatever I don't have, I'll get there. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Nothing.
Right.
So I kind of have a different attitude, and I've tried to, lighten up my week and get ends tied up, so that I don't have all those stresses. So I think thinking about things ahead of time, and a little bit of, who knows what still might come up between now and then when we have to go, and that's
or
the
even
thing.
along the way. I mean, that's one of the things that probably one of the biggest life lessons I learned from operating the nonprofit summer camp, Camp Kindle, is you have to be flexible. I mean, just think about that day of travel. We've got 50 staff members waiting for the arrival of 100 kids who are coming from all over the country. Flights, buses, getting dropped off. Inevitably, there's always something that goes wrong. A kid misses their flight, something's delayed, someone gets lost, like something happens. So we've had mornings where our bus, like to pick up all the campers to take them back to the airport, a bus that was going to put 30 kids, take them all to LAX, doesn't show up.
Oh my God.
What are you going to do? If you go into panic mode and you start stressing, you cannot think clearly, you cannot be rational, you cannot be strategic, or at least not as strategic and as rational. And so there's always ways to work around whatever situation you're confronted with. It may not be the most ideal, but it works. And at that point, we ended up saying, okay, who has to make the first flights? What staff members can drive and who's willing. And we just started putting people into cars and taking them down and like making trips and still trying to call that bus, which never showed up. That happened to us several times over 20 years.
Oh my gosh.
But I mean, like, things happen, and really being able to just go, okay, here we are with this challenge. Let's see what we can do. How can we move through this? It just makes life so much easier.
Well, you know what? That brings me to a discussion that I wanted to talk about, and we definitely need our viewers to hear. And that is that we're going to take we're going to rearrange our schedule a little bit due to the fact that it's summertime and I'm going on trips. You're going to be doing things. You've got all the kids home. And so that makes it a little bit difficult to do our morning thing every day.
Right.
So what do you think we take a little bit of time off for the summer and give it a little bit of a rest?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I'd love to, keep doing Mondays. I think Mondays seem to be like a good time for us to meet.
Yeah.
And one of the favorite parts, so this whole journey, what's been so exciting about it is, when we started, we said, okay, let's give it 3 months. Let's just see if we even like doing it. And then 3 months turned to 5 months. And now it's been 8 months. I mean, 8 months of showing up Monday through Friday at 8:30 in the morning and putting a show out. We have over 200 episodes, over 40 hours, Shelly,
Wow.
of us talking. Like, part of me just feels like, what more do I have to say? Like, I feel like I've said everything I need to say or have learned to like this point in my life. And
Yep.
I love when we interview other people because it's just such a fresh perspective on maybe something we've talked about. A lot of times it's personal development people anyway, people who are really trying to, life coaches, people trying to help other people. So no matter who comes on, it's always amazing advice. And I love learning from other people. And so I'd love to do that. I'd love just to like, let's just take Mondays, let's find people who seem interesting. We've had amazing guests on. We'll have them back on, and really just diving into some other people's brains for a little bit to see like, how can we improve our lives? How can we live in flow? What does flow look like for other people? And kind of making that the focus. That frees up time for us. You can get back on some morning walks. I mean, I think part of living in flow is like what feels good right now and
Yes.
what makes you the happiest. And it's not that this doesn't, but when I love doing this, but when it starts to feel like, okay, here we go again. Oh, another morning. Okay, I got this. I can do this. And then you just go like, what, but why? Like, for what? Like, we've done it, I'm super proud of us. I'm super proud of how consistent we've been, at least, especially to me, to be consistent with something. I can't be consistent with really anything. I think a lot of things I try to be consistent with, like working out, for example, and I'm good for like a couple days. And then I need a couple days off, and a couple days might turn to like a week, so I'm so proud that we've been consistent with that.
Well, I am proud of us too. And you know what? I think we'll always do this to some capacity. And I think right now, just doing Mondays will be really great. I mean, this comes from our heart, and we're speaking from our hearts now that it's not like we're letting this go. We're not saying goodbye to Set to Love.
Right.
What we're doing is just taking a little bit of a summer break and just being real with the people. This is kind of where we're at. We need to just have a little bit of a break and do our Mondays, which will be a lot of fun. And so it's not like we're not going to be around. We're still here. And hey, you know what? If we need to add a day, we can do that too.
Right.
If something comes up, we're still here. We're not going anywhere. So,
and if you think about how many iterations our podcast has already been through, I mean, a lot of people don't know, but we've been doing this for over 2 years, technically. We started in May of 2019, and it started out as just a 1 week. We only met like once a month, and or maybe twice a month. What was it? And we would film 2 episodes. They were just audio, so you can go find them on, Apple Music or Spotify or whatever. We had Tan with us. So we were doing, and there were maybe like 30, 40-minute episodes or whatever. We were of same kind of topics. And then she moved and things kind of got, like rustled up in our mix. And we were trying to figure out, well, how do we change, or how do we adapt, or what do we do? And I think that is the lesson for everyone. It's like, things don't have to stay the way they started. Things can kind of mold and adapt. And when you do that and you truly listen to your heart and how you feel and what seems like the most joyful path for you, and just trust that path, things work out. Like doing this iteration of it, with this live streaming, I've learned so much. And how much confidence have you gained, just from showing up here every day? I mean, I went from like, okay, a little bit nervous and live and now it's like throw my hair in a ponytail and show up and chat, like
well, so I haven't learned that much. I'm such a little priss. I'm proud of myself. I get up every morning an hour early and get showered and do my hair. And that's never going to change, because that's just who I am.
Well, and I would do that anyway. I
have to be ready for work. I have to, that's just the way it goes. But
I'm sorting socks today. So, I don't have anyone to impress.
Oh my gosh, you're so cute. Well, I'm super grateful for you. You do a lot. I show up here and I'm online, but I don't know if I've ever really formally in front of all these people told you how grateful I am that you have done everything in the back part of this, what no one sees, the hours of work And you've read, you've learned so much for both of us to be able to do this. And I am extremely grateful to you. I could never repay you for all your hours of
Well,
hard work to make
Kelly,
this
though,
happen.
I appreciate you saying that, but I do it because I want to, because I love it, because I truly believe that to live in flow, you need to follow your deepest heart's desires. And doing this is a
Yeah.
deep heart desire. I
Yeah.
love doing it. And so I
But you know
want to
what,
be good at
Eva?
it.
You had me in on this with you. We did this together as friends, but you met me where I was at. And I
Yeah.
told you, I know nothing about blah, blah. And I really don't want to learn about blah, blah. So if you'll take me with that, then I'm in. I want to do it.
Yeah.
I have to learn how to be on camera. And that's what I love, is that you accepted me for where I was at, the things I don't really understand about electronics and whatever. I mean, how many times have I panicked? Oh my gosh, the computer won't go on.
I know.
Bob, where's Bob?
The microphone, I can't hear you. Hold on, what's happening? I know it.
So I just want to really say from the bottom of my heart, thank you
Oh,
so much
thanks.
for everything you do and that you'll continue to do, because we are here Mondays. For right
We are
now, it's going to
here
be Mondays.
Mondays.
We're going to have really
That
cool
is the
guests.
plan until we decide otherwise. But yes, here Mondays. And I just want to let people know out there too, be flexible with the people in your life. Like what you're saying, Shelly, I think that's the lesson that I learned from, again, being in the camp world for 20 years and running a nonprofit, is you have to meet people where they're at. You can't expect someone to show up with a strength that isn't a strength of theirs. You find out what people's strengths are and you play to their strengths. And
Oh my gosh,
hopefully
so great.
you bring your strengths to the table. And if you have enough puzzle pieces and enough people who have the different strengths, beautiful things can transpire. And that's what I
Yes.
found in the camp. And that's what I found on this journey with you. That's what I found even just with in my family and in friend situations.
Yep.
You recognize, and with my kids, you recognize people's strengths and you work with that. And the things that they're weak at, you recognize that too. And you don't expect them to become A students in something that they struggle to even like get a C in,
Yep.
that is not flow. So flow is playing to the strengths, following your heart,
Uh,
doing what you love with people that you love, and
yes.
incorporating a little bit of that every single day into your life.
And I'm super grateful for our sisterhood. I mean, you are
Me
my
too. Me
best
too.
friend, my sister, my whole heart. I just love you, and I'm looking forward to Monday.
Me too. Well, you're
And
not going to be here this Monday. So this next Monday, Alicia Ayala, she's our little buddy. She's been on the show many times,
I love
and
her.
she's going to step in and co-host with me. I don't really know what we're talking about yet, but she's a transformational coach. So it'll be something around that, around like transitions, transformations in your life. But people tune in Monday and you'll be able to see that. And then you'll be back the following Monday and we'll be starting our summer Mondays with some
Yep.
amazing guests.
All right, everyone. Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend. Love you.
Love
Hit
you
the
guys.
bell, everyone. Hit the
Bye.
bell.
Thank you.